how did you get into testifying in relation to your appraisal work?
So when I started out doing appraisals, it was mostly for mortgage relating. In fact, when I started out in 1989, there was no licensing for appraisers. And of course, there's a rule that calls those who have the gold make the rules, right? And so in every financial collapse in the marketplace, bankers would like want to point fingers like, oh, it's their fault, right? It's their fault. So in 89 and 1990, we had another financial collapse, like, similar to 2008, but not as bad as 2008 market. And the bankers said, the appraisers need to be licensed. It's their fault. They overvalued the properties. It's not us making the loans, it's the appraiser's fault, correct? And so licensing came into effect. And during this time, I had a short marriage and I was going through my own personal divorce. And the biggest firm back at that time, local firm at that time, I went and spoke to him. And of course I couldn't afford his fee because I wasn't making any money at that time, so he sent me somewhere else. But he said, you do appraisals? I said, yes, I do. And he said, would you be willing to do an appraisal for a divorce case? And I said, why not? Let's try it. And then he said, would you be willing to go on the stand and testify regarding your opinion of value? I said, sure, let's go ahead and try it. And he came back and said, you were really good on the stand. You really articulated well. You backed up your opinion and started using me more and more for his divorce cases. Well, back in that time, we didn't have the internet. They had law books, and most of the attorneys worked at big firms. So all the new attorneys that would go there learn how to practice family law cases, and they would go open their own practice, but they had my name. So my name and my experience grew as more attorneys opened their own practices, and then I became known as the local trusted expert in family law cases.